All right, moving on to Masters of Horror. I think we're on episode 11 of the 13 in the first season. This one is Pick Me Up, directed by Larry Cohn, and it stars Fairuza Balk, and it also has an actor whose name escapes me. I actually might have the Stuff Blu-ray out here. No. Nope, I thought I had it. But anyways, Mo from the Stuff. They call me Mo because anytime I get some money, I want some Mo. Is that what it is? Or I think that's the line, paraphrasing, but you know the fucking line if you've seen the Stuff. So it opens up with a bus driver who purposely runs over an animal in the road. It's a snake, but still, like, who aims for animals with their car and actually like gets off on it? That's like serial killer behavior. Like, to me, like, here's a rule I have for sure. I don't kill things in their environment. Unless of course my fucking life is on the line or something, which has never happened. I've never had to kill something to defend my life, but if it did and I had the upper hand, of course I would defend myself accordingly. But like, if I see bugs outside, I would never smash them. Never. I'm in their home. I'm not gonna fucking smash it. How would you like it if someone came into your house and smashed you? Like, no, they're outside. And most bugs, I am the guy who fucking picks them up and takes them outside because I don't like killing them unless they're like very harmful looking spiders or something. And I have a small kid, so I'm like, sorry guy, you gotta go. And then cockroaches all die. Cockroaches all die. Unless I saw them outside. Then, as I said, that's not fair. That's their territory. They have it. But in my house, cockroaches, dead. But yeah, animals, dude, not even close. I mean, if I saw a snake out in the desert, I'm not going to kill it unless it was coming at me. Then obviously that's a different toil. But I'm in a car and there's a fucking animal in the road. If I can do anything I can without risking my life to not hit the animal, of course I'm not going to hit the animal. It's crazy to me. Somebody who's like driving down the road and sees a bunny or a skunk or something and purposely aims for it is a fucking asshole. 100% an asshole. So this immediately does not make me like this bus driver at all. It's like, you gotta aim for the snake and laugh? What is wrong with you? So now the the scariest thing in this entire film, and I hate to say this because, it's mean, but it's true. The woman in this, not Fairuza Balk, of course, but there's a blonde in this. I know her name. She is in Maniac Cop 1 and 2. She's a blonde. She's had so much plastic surgery. And, she's worked with Larry Cohn in the past. So I get it. And she's been in some horror. But, dude, she's brutal. She's brutal. It's like that plastic surgery that you're like, you should have stopped forever ago. Forever ago. It's sad. It's scary. It's like, it's an addiction. Like, I blame the surgeons who would continue to keep doing it. Like, what are you doing, man? Look at them. Look at their fucking face. Like, that's not human. That's not real. Nobody thinks that's attractive. Like, I get that you want to maintain your looks, but at what cost? Like, your looks are the cost. Like, it's counterintuitive. I could understand if, like, it made you look young, but like inside you were old, and like every time they had to make you look younger, they had to somehow take age from you, and it would make you older inside, almost like that Tales from the Crypt episode directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, where the guy's trading out his body for a younger body, but inside he's old. So yeah, it's just she's not pleasant to look at, let's say that. We get a little role here from Michael Eklund. It was cool to see him here. He plays a fairly different character. He's kind of like a flamboyant bartender or cashier or something in this movie, and Mo comes up and he's like showing him his gun and gives him the gun to play with, and then he keeps trying to give his gun away in this movie to, like, I don't know, gain people's trusts, but doesn't work with any of the girls in this movie because all the girls in this episode are completely untrusting of any men or anybody anything. There's this one girl who's on the bus, and yes, they end up being right, but it's like annoying that they're right because people like this would be insufferable, and she's insufferable. She's just like, this guy walks up and she's like, what? He could be a pedophile or something. It's like, whoa, what? Well, A, you're safe. You're not a child, so I don't know why a pedophile would really be something you were worried about unless there was kids around. I think a pedophile is kind of the last thing you need to be worrying about as a full-grown woman. So, unless you want to get back to town, and then you can prosecute accordingly because he's a piece of shit. But in that scenario, I don't think a pedophile is really much of your concern. Anyways, and then the truck driver is like, he could be a fucking murderer. And she's right. I mean, the guy's not a pedophile, but he's, at least I don't think so. He's a killer, and they both are. And that's just it. In this show, this series, this episode, basically everyone on that road is a driver or a hitchhiker or anything is a killer. Whether it's the bus driver who likes to run over snakes, or it's the truck driver who likes to collect people and kill them, or it's the hitchhiker who, of course, tries to round up women, kill them, or anybody, but mostly women. And then there's the ambulance drivers at the end. It's just like this cursed highway. It's like Highway 60 or 666 from Natural Born Killers or something. It's like, Jesus Christ, you've got so many killers on one stretch of highway. Which I do like the concept of like the contrast of the two different types, the two different kind of like stereotypes of bad guys on the highway. You've got the truck driver who picks up hitchhikers to kill them. And then you've got the hitchhiker who, if you pick up, he'll kill you. So I do like that. But the way this plays out, I don't really like the characters very much. I find them to be unbelievable. And whilst this definitely has kind of a black comedy-ish tone to it, it plays it a little too straight to where I feel like I'm supposed to be taking it seriously, and I feel like that's why it hurts it. Fairuza Balk is almost completely wasted here. Her role is almost pointless to me, and I just didn't enjoy any of her in this, and she was one of my biggest crushes of my childhood outside of like Drew Barrymore. I mean, Fairuza Balk came around the Craft days and Waterboy and whatever. Vicky Valancourt showed me her boobies, and I liked them. It was like seeing her here, I was like, oh, Fairuza, holy shit. And I knew she was in this because I've seen this before. I've seen the entire show before, but rewatching it, I was really interested in seeing the Fairuza episode because it's Fairuza Balk, and she's not likable here. I don't like her. I don't like her performance. I don't like her character. I don't like anything about her in this. So that was a shame to see her used like that or unused like that. And the hitchhiker guy is like cutting chunks out of some naked babe that he picked up. She picked him up with her boyfriend, and she was like showing him her pussy, like flirting in front of her boyfriend, which is just shitty and awful. And while I don't think she deserves to die, it's like I don't care in a movie if she does. So when she was tied up, I was like, maybe you shouldn't be flirting. But as I said, I don't think in real life someone who cheats on anybody should die. But in a movie, fuck it, why not? It's pretend, so kill her off. And I definitely wonder how many truck drivers that pick up people and how many hitchhikers are actually nuts, that are actually like trying to hurt you and kill you. Like, what do you think the percentage is on that? I'm going to go with not very high. I'm going to go with very, very low. But, it's still a percentage chance, right? And that's not something you want to deal with. You've got the two killers that are kind of going. Now, it seems like the truck driver does know of the hitchhiker, and I don't know if the hitchhiker is familiar with the truck driver or not. I couldn't pick up on that. I really was kind of lost on that. I kind of already talked about the distrusting women in this and all of that, but they are right. So I guess I can't blame them, but I feel like they'd be saying that about literally anybody. So it is kind of annoying. And I feel like I feel like Mo in this, the way he talks, it kind of reminded me of a mix between Christopher Walken and John Voight. I was getting a lot of both out of him, and he's fine. I mean, I definitely can't take him all that seriously as a killer. He just is so silly to me. But whatever, he is what he is. I like when he tells Fairuza Balk that he's a cop, and then he knocks her out. And when she wakes up and starts struggling and is wearing handcuffs, she looks over at him and yells, "You're not a cop." No shit. No shit. So that was really, really dumb. And made me roll my eyes for sure. Then the truck driver tells the Scorpion and the Toad story, like with a different set of characters. But that story has been overdone. Oh my god, how many times I fucking heard that story. I think the first time, ironically enough, speaking of natural born killers, might have been in the Native American dude who, is telling him that joke. But yeah, we got to stop using that one. It is a fable, and it does have a message, and it's there's a lesson to be learned, but it's just been done so many times. They're in the front seat and they hit the brakes and they both go flying through the window. And then they start fighting, and then the ambulance drivers come and pick them up, and then kill both of them with, you know, um, air embolisms, which would be such a horrible way to die. And then we find out that Fairuza Balk was also taken, so you think you're getting help, and I've always thought that's so scary, right? Like ambulance drivers being killers, like in that moment, you're helpless, right? You're fucking helpless. You are already injured. You're already dealing with so much pain and broken parts and whatever. And if you've been hit in the head, you also have to kind of deal with that. You have a lot to deal with. So these guys can really take advantage of you if they want. You don't really have the ability to defend yourself, and if they're going to stick you with something, especially if you're bleeding out or something, and they're like, "Oh, give her a sedative or give her whatever," or give him. Well, in this case, it'd be her with Fairuza, but you're going to trust it, right? I mean, if you get in the back of an ambulance and they're like, "They need blah 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 stat," and you're like, and they get the needle out, and you're like, okay, I mean, you saved my life, and then they boom, and you're out, and then you wake up and you're chained into some room. It's terrifying, and it was actually the very first script I ever wrote was about a killer ambulance, a killer hospital. Like, I just find that to be terrifying because I got in a car wreck when I was 18, and I was helicoptered off the freeway in downtown LA. And while we were up there, I was just like, these guys could literally do anything they want to me right now. They could inject me with anything they want. They could do anything they want to me. I'm helpless. I'm fucked. I'm done. So it just scared me. I was just, um, in a way. I mean, I knew they were there to help me, and they did, but you just kind of have those like flashing thoughts when those kinds of things are happening. So scary idea. But this movie's too silly for its own good. It's not serious enough, and it's not playful enough. The tone was uneven for me. The characters were somewhat interesting, but ultimately uninspired. And I feel like this could have been a cool idea had it been done better. But Larry Cohn is Larry Cohn. He's not known for his slick directing and amazing storytelling. He makes pretty silly films overall, but all in all, it's okay, I guess, ish, but I don't really care for it that much. Anyways, moving on.